Much for being back, and after that little break, and we still have Innocent Atoluba, and we're speaking to issues happening around the world. And Innocent, just before that break, you were speaking to the connection and the United Nations at 80 and every other things there.
Yeah, and just to cap it off, one of the high points of President Trump's commentary was that Ukraine should win back territories already annexed by Russia with the help of the EU. So I'm saying that if you globalize it within the objectives of the United Nations, that is more war. Because they are not going to give Vladimir Putin a ring and it happens. Yes. Meanwhile, the United Nations exist for global peace. Do Europe now take instructions, take orders from Donald Trump? What is the position of the United Nations Secretary General? He has also said Russian plane flying through airspaces outside of Russia is NATO airspace. It should be shut down by any country that sees such a plane flying there. So are we looking towards war escalation or war reduction? I must say this, that there is something called balance of power. Now the balance of power is what countries are your friends in the international space. It is not for peace sake, as it ought to be. It is for security. Israel is friends with US, not for peace, but for security. So if anybody attacks Israel, America will join Israel to attack. That's the essence. So the reasons for the existence of the United Nations is, I don't know, it seems to be on the diminishing. And that's why it was on the news last night. The International Criminal Court has criminalized the activities and the policies of Israel through Benjamin Netanyahu in Gaza. Netanyahu is still ongoing, you know. So the leaders of Mali, Burkina Faso and Niger have announced that they've withdrawn their membership from the International Criminal Court, citing that the court seemed to prosecute African leaders and is selective with other nationals, especially with America, the United States, not being a part of the International Criminal Court and are not prosecutable. So they too are not members. They are also not prosecutable. For them, they want an egalitarian world. They've brandished the International Criminal Court as there's a word they use, neo-colonial, like a neo-colonial expansion, something that extends the hand of colonialism, kind of. So I'm wondering, my submission is, the way the United Nations is now, the way the Security Council is now, what is the benefit of any country still clamoring so that African nations don't get to be dangled a bit? We are expanding the Security Council, Africa will get to, and you are jumping. You should look at the purpose, the transparency, and the functions of that Security Council, because according to Gabriel Almond in the theory of structural functionalism, offices, institutions exist to fulfill functions. The United Nations Security for now is not fulfilling some expected functions. Nobody should be aspiring and celebrating getting there as things are.
Very, very true. Institutions exist to fulfill of functions, and the United Nations is losing that particular part because people have watched in glory how Israeli are attacking and bombing Gaza and Palestinians, but nobody seemed to watch, and one would wonder if the United Nations is still as efficient as they were when it was set up or created for world peace. Well, Innocent Atoluba will still be here to take us on our main conversation. That is when we return. ADC tells Tinubu Nigeria is not Lagos. Prepare to leave in 2027. In a bit, it's still Enterprise Morning. Don't go anywhere. Thank you so very much for being back. And if you just joined us, this is still Enterprise Morning, reaching you from Enterprise Television. Let's head straight to our conversation for today. The African Democratic Congress, ADC, has rejected the Presidency's assurance that President Bola Tinubu has no plans beyond 2031, insisting his mandate ends in 2027. In a statement by its National Publicity Secretary, Mallam Bolaji Abdullahi, the party said Nigerians would not tolerate tenure elongation, citing insecurity, economic hardship, and abuse of power under his administration.
Very true. The ADC accused Tinubu of treating re-election as automatic, despite rising banditry, kidnappings, collapsing businesses, and worsening inflation. It also faulted its government's performance in power supply, healthcare, education, and human rights, stressing that Nigerians have only become poorer and angrier.
Very so true. The party warned that Nigeria cannot be run like Lagos and described any talk of 2031 as insensitive. It said Tinubu should prepare to leave in 2027, declaring that the real contest will be between APC and the Nigerian people. We have with us Innocent Andoluba, journalist, public affairs analyst, to see through all that we have today. Thank you so very much, Innocent, for hanging on.
Well, it's my pleasure to still be here.
Thank you. I know you've said this repeatedly, that the reason the ADC are still flaunting enough political muscle is because the APC had blatantly refused to do what it should do. It would have been an easy one for the APC, but it is obvious that they are not doing what ought to be done. Speak to us, Innocent, if you may, confession some more on what your submissions had always been.
You know, the incumbent All Progressive Congress flexed their muscles through INEC when INEC announced that new political parties can no longer be registered. Like I said, certain things are not contemplated at birth or inception. Nobody had thought in Nigeria that people from various parties will congregate in one small party as their coalition. So this is how evolutions emerge. And to that extent, we saw where the founding national chairman of that party, Chief Raf Okenwosu, about a few months ago, transferred power, whether we call it caretaker or whatever, to a David Mark-led caretaker committee. Yeah. That's at the party's 99th NEC meeting. Yes. If it is the 99th, it tells you ADC has been around.
Yeah, for a very long time, just that it was not.
But this time around, its muscles have gotten more insulin, if you get. You know, and like I would say, the ADC for me, I'm repeating it, the APC should run the ADC out of town. The All Progressive Congress should render the African Democratic Congress irrelevant. How? I will give. They've done one of what I listed. Okay. They've lowered interest rates.
Well, that is still.
But it's marginal.
That is still theoretical because it hasn't gotten to the
implementation.
Average woman on the streets to understand how that affects their
lives.
But
I've listed that.
Yes.
I've also said like the APC should carry out some quick fixes. In fact, the APC should have strategies, monitoring pronouncements from the ADC and carrying them out in the APC. That on election day, the APC will become familiar devils. And the balance is, familiar devils are better than strange angels. The devil you know. A boat drowned crossing from Niger to Kwara at Patigi, over 100 people. A boat capsized, over 100 people drowned. 2027 is still some way off. It could be propaganda or whatever. If I were the APC, before Christmas, we would start the foundation of a bridge there. And make a lot of noise about it. you can amplify how concerned you are with the lives that were lost. My sister, you don't now need to go campaigning during election. If the ADC gets there, they would have taken a late flight. Yes. You mentioned Benue in the news.
Yes.
The IDP campers want to block... No, I've mentioned that before. Some people were born in IDP camps. They're in higher institutions now in Nigeria. Clear out the IDP camps. Or start clearing the IDP camp in phases. And make noise about, good noise about it. Return them to their community. Secure their community. Let them go back to farming. If you do that, you've scored double. You've decamped the IDP campers. You've reduced the nomenclature that has come to stay. Food inflation. These people who were to farm are doing nothing. And we hear that they are fertilizing women at the IDP camps. People are just giving birth. When farmers are idle, their blood got hot. It has to be poured somewhere. You know. Like I mentioned earlier, it's in the news. A tanker has crushed.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
Reduce their Apapa congestion by using other ports and making noise about it. If you go to Warri Port, let the people in the South know you are opening ports for their economic space. Let people in One know you are opening ports. You know, let people in Port Harcourt or Calabar know this. These are facilities already on ground. You are not creating new ones, for God's sake. Open them, let them run. When it's time for election, you just point at what you are doing. You just point at what you are doing. The government knows Nigeria is at its hardest economic space. Certain political spaces are still increasing their salaries. You know that? Oh, say you want to reduce salary, whether it is 1,000 naira. You know, and then you will be depriving the ADC of content for campaign. What would they say they want to do when you are doing what Nigerians expect? But you see, this strategy in Nigeria of political witchcraft, where you see one party flourishing, you hire people to go there as stooges, or what's the other name?
Esponages.
Yeah, you plant your people there and use money to scatter another party, so only your party will stand. It's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. Everybody has a price. Not everybody can be bought. Not everybody. We saw the woman who God used for the Abians to bring in the government of OT.
Oh, yes.
And what Abia is today.
Yes.
She has a price, but she wasn't sold. So these tactics of, it has happened now. Labour Party has been shredded. Yes. And so the new tactic is to point at Peter Obi and say, if he cannot run one party, he's not trust. Nigerians don't care. Those are theories. See, Nigerians don't even demand much from this government. Lots of things were bad before President Bola Tinubu got in. We cannot just blame him for everything. But every government is a manager campaigning to reduce damage. What are the damages being reduced? What are the innovations of this new government? That's what Nigerians want. They don't want you to do miracle overnight. You should just be seen working, however slow. Ijebo de Ore is always left. We are in the ember months. They are now working. They don't work from January till August. Close to Christmas. And that work also is against the health of Nigerians. Sometimes you travel there as your vehicle, one vehicle is dusty, it's foggy. Infants that are coughing. Why can't you do these things when nobody are there? Yeah. You know. So see, if we profess multi-party politics, incumbent parties, look, the ADC is treading a path as a coalition. They are treading a path already trodden by the APC in the days of the PDP. Yeah. The PDP accommodated the coalition of APC That's how the APC got to where they are.
Yeah.
It behooves the APC to accommodate the coalition of the ADC and go and contest fair and square. That's what I think.
Okay, now let's talk about the security and economic hardship. Now, with insecurity and economic hardship highlighted by the ADC, do you think these issues could become the biggest obstacles to Tinubu's re-election in 2027?
Sadly, I would like to say this here.
Okay.
Former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan had a colloquium in Ghana recently.
Yeah.
And he said it. He said, poorly performing government perpetuate themselves in power by manipulating the electoral processes.
I think he has seen it.
He has been there.
Yeah.
He was corroborated by different Nigerians who were there. I dare say by former President Olusegun Obasanjo, by Bishop Matthew Kuka, and many names we cannot roll out here. So, the ADC has a big task. They may do their best. Like Henry mentioned, President Tinubu is on the brink of using his influence to pick a new boy to run INEC, possibly to ensure his victory. I mean, does the ADC have that clout? And if you are with your smile, you are the fresh INEC chairman, you cannot lose if the previous people didn't lose with the incumbent. So you have a fresh mandate. This new paradise seat will just give you. You know, that's where I was worried with my response. But like I said, it's legal. It's legal. Even in countries abroad, attorney generals are elected. Chief justice, they're elected. They are not appointed. In some countries, the judiciary elects one of their own, and he is not serving this government. He is serving his tenure with his colleague judges. They may elect you. They do that. See, when this government, some countries, President Tinubu was elected in 2023. The judiciary will elect a new person in 2024.
Yes.
When President Tinubu and opposition contest 2027, it's not concurrent. They will wait. The election, then they will elect. So if there are tribunal cases, the new man has a mandate on his reputation on the line. You know, so asking about insecurity and economy is valid. Do you know there are traders who can speak English? They understand insecurity. They've been chased from farms where they went to buy crops, vegetable and all. They can see the cost of what things are today and where they were previously. So they will believe the ADC. But however hard the ADC works, if, in the words of President Goodluck Jonathan Emeritus, the APC still has the war chest and the means, like other parties before them, to keep themselves in power. If everything is fair, clean and square, many people will not be where they are today.
Okay, what about what role do opposition parties have in policing or naming political attempts at this tenure elongation?
Well, tenure elongation is a topic that seems to not want to go away. It was also mentioned at the Goodluck Jonathan's foundation. If you ask me, I would like the government to do this. Every president should run only one tenure of 6 years.
Okay.
So if they mess it up,
I'm coming.
and that is how the 6 years goes, yes.
If there is accountability, if you mess it up, the day you are handing over that place, that hall, you are taken for incarceration, or you are detained while your probe goes on. Yes. Now, no government in Nigeria, if you ask me, should be eligible to contest election as an incumbent. After your 6 years, you will step aside. A new person will come in. If you are interested again, as a neutral, contest. That's what I would propose to Nigeria. When your 6 years are done, you cannot recontest. A new person will come in. Then if you are still interested, you contest again.
But how about the situation where in a lots of individuals who have had the opportunity have glaringly said that 4 years is not enough time, that just before you look the other way, it is gone, that for continuity and for developmental process, that a 2-term or 4 years is required to make that work. Do you buy the submission?
2 things. I cited Gabriel Almond. Offices exist, institutions exist to fulfill function. And so we should not personalize public issues or publicize personal issues. If President Tinubu is in government for 4 years, it is the APC that are in government. So when his tenure elapses and the APC wins again, that is continuity. It's not the person.
Should we look at it that way? Don't you think it's time? Because this wearing the toga of political names and brand is what is really messing up the situation here. Don't you think it's good enough to say if a leader comes to power, at that point he does no longer see the party, but he sees Nigerians. He sees the people and not the party, such that the focus and the connection would be the people and not being subservient to the party, which has caused so much trouble.
There is an affront on the electorate by elected representatives. Like, I dare say this, like, go to hell. Like, with or without the electorate, someone can get to power.
Through the party.
Are you getting me?
Yes.
So, that is why the electorates are how they are. In France, if you increase the price of bread, people will occupy the street for weeks. Because the power of the electorate there is more pronounced than those who are governing them, including Ghana. So that in Nigeria, I just told you what President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan said. So in that case, our government don't focus on the people. Governments that focus on the people know that it is the people that entirely decide their fate to come in. Here, it is your cronies, your ability to rig, manipulate, where we eat and drink. Some people say there are 2 new political parties. INEC political party and Agbero political party. And at the level of banter, you can see some facts in it. So a government will focus, a governor like Governor Alex Oti in Abia will focus on the people. Knowing that the people can back him massively. A governor that is a miraculous appearance.
Please call names.
Like we've seen scenarios in Imo.
Okay.
You know, and you see that kind of emergence. Even Governor Yaya Bello, who has done his 2 years. So and as we speak, some governors have governors as their godfather.
Because one would wonder, a very classic example is Delta State Sheriff Oborowori and Pastor Mweno of Akwa Ibom State, who both defected to another party. Not that they weren't performing under the former party they were in, but they defected because they wanted to save their own personal political career.
You see, you've just agreed with me. It is the masses that can save their career. But in this scenario, their loyalty, their political salvation is with the powers that be. So sometimes expenses, huge funds spent during campaign are just political formalities. What will be, will be. So in that, and that is the message of the ADC. The ADC seeks to glorify the power of the masses. Is the APC aligned with the ADC? How come we are on this table 3-6 months after my election as local government chairman? You people are no longer my mates. I can pass here with a convoy of 12 vehicles, and I'm sitting in one. Look at the resources wasting in the caravan. You know, so there are lots to say. And when you say it this way, people will say, oh, you are supporting, yeah, you know. But the bottom line is, the ADC right now is the party for Nigerians. Yes, going by how and what we are.
But that had always been the template played by other political parties. When APC was equally towing the same line, they made it look like they were speaking to Nigerians. But today, the story is different.
It is seasonal music that the political electorate should dance to. And that's where transparency is important. Like I tell people, if your state has been ruled by PDP before, has been ruled by APC before, and you are still not happy, when the election comes, look for another party and vote. You voted them, you allowed them deceive you, and you've seen them clearly now. You want to still vote for them? So it's not a blame time. At campaign, only God can foresee the future. Nigerians claim to have been tired of the PDP. What did they do? They switched to the APC. It's a human tendency. If Nigerians are also tired of the APC, it's time to switch
to another.
That's it. We can't sit down and blame that. But we moved from. We will keep moving. If any state is in power under one political party, look at maybe Ogun State, Benue State, Kaduna State, and the PDP failed you. You left PDP. You are now with APC. Have the APC fared better than the PDP that you dumped? If the answer is no, what's the benefit of continuing with the APC? Don't go back to PDP. Reject the APC. Look for any party. It could be paper political party. Let APC and PDP know that if you don't do us well, there are alternatives out there. If that new paper political party also fails, when 4 years come again, you dump the paper. You see, we shouldn't be fixated with. I don't care what party wins, if the party delivers the services the masses expect. If Alex Oti in Abia turns a new leaf, the Abians should kick him out. We are not concerned about Labour Party or APC. We are concerned about the well-being of the masses. Not government giving you excuses. The economy is poor. Government runs on budget deficit, borrows more. Mid-year, they tell you the budget is small. Borrow again. And they are preaching for you to understand. These people should be patient. These changes take time. And you are comfortable. And my balance is the political class are enjoying in islands of opulence, surrounded by the masses in oceans of poverty. Now, another thing is the APC is helping the ADC to grow strong. If you and I, without stick and gun, enter the street to protest food price increase or whatever, we get shot at by this government. Is this the government we want? We don't know how good or bad the ADC is. Me, I would say, since we've seen this one, let's test this one.
Okay, now.
And that's the democracy. You keep. Once upon a time, it was Donald Trump. He lost to Joe Biden. Americans didn't like Biden. What they are back. So if you don't like one, you are not tied there. No, you are not tied there. Democracy is freedom.
Democracy is freedom. I just sincerely hope that all of this would work. Remember, they're all tied up under the arms of one man, and that is the INEC chairman, who funnily will be selected by the president himself, who is equally running on the platform as officiated by the INEC itself. So it's a whole big issue. That's why we're asking for comprehensive electoral reform, because it's a comprehensive electoral reform that would maybe possibly help us navigate all of this without squabbles and issues. What Nigerians want is a safe haven. What Nigerians want is a country they can call their own. Thousands, if not millions of Nigerians in diaspora are not really so excited about where they are. You know, beyond the
I
glitz and the
feel that
glamour.
when everything is okay, yeah, they will be to come.
Of
home
course,
and
there's
still
nowhere like
enjoy,
home.
yes,
You know,
and
the
still-
humanity of Nigerians cannot be compared anywhere
But one
else.
thing I know is if things are really being put in place here in Nigeria, that things are really going on well, why not? Our people over there will come here, and in fact, the memories that they would even they would leave. They will see everything as memories, you know, all those things they've had in the other countries. Because I mean,
It will be more than memories.
Yeah,
It will be
right?
experience that they will bring home for development.
Yes.
You know, look,
Definitely.
see, two things. Have you been to the airport lately? Nigerians, fit and healthy, are borrowing money to flee their fatherland
Selling their ancestral lands.
in the name of Japa.
And they will not sell all their
Assets.
household items
Number
and
two,
all.
this same Nigeria has everything it has.
Yeah.
It had when it was a global economy. Now abandoned, disregarded, and overlooked.
Just hope things becomes better.
You know.
Well, we'll keep hoping.
All focus on 2027. You know, like they say, all eyes on judiciary. But we've come to change that. They said we shouldn't repeat all eyes on the judiciary, because the judiciary is not its responsibility to select who would be.
Yeah.
But it's only when we get it wrong in our polling stations in electioneering, that's when it gets to the hands of the judiciary. So we should stop saying all eyes on judiciary, but say all eyes on us, we Nigerians. Thank you so very much, Innocent Abdullahi.
Thank
My
you.
pleasure.
We do appreciate you as always. All right, people, that's just about the time we have. We'd love to say thank you for making this a date. Please do well to follow us if you may. You can find us at EnterpriseTVNews.com. You may equally like, comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV7. I am Henry Igwebike.
And I am Ken the Buddha.
On behalf of the entire team of Enterprise Television, we'd love to say have yourself a splendid day. Take good care of yourself, and remember to follow us for better, entertaining programs coming up on Enterprise Television. Thank you.
Okay. Bye. We'll see you next time.
Yeah.